Fred Richani for the Sports Courier, here to take a special look back at the illustrious 26-year history of WWE Summer Classic SummerSlam, which originated in 1988 at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in New York City. Now you might wonder, how did it come about in the first place? Well, Vince McMahon was taking over the pay-per-view industry by storm. WrestleMania, Survivor Series, later Royal Rumble, which began as a free TV special, and he thought, you know what? What better way to cap off the World Wrestling Federation summer than with a true summer classic, which was headlined by Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. The first ever SummerSlam may have taken place in 1988, but it planted the seeds for some memorable storylines in 1989 and 1990. The Ultimate Warrior won his first major WWE singles title, dethroning the Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental Championship. Honky Tonk Man had been reigning supreme for 14 months, but the Ultimate Warrior just needed 31 seconds to squash him like a bug. And in the main event, the Mega Powers Hogan and Savage, accompanied by Miss Elizabeth, defeated the Mega Bucks, Andre the Giant, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, which would plant the seeds for an eventual Savage versus Hogan showdown at WrestleMania 5 the very next year. And of course, the Ultimate Warrior went on to have two memorable feuds with Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship. On August 28th, 1989, WWE returned to the New York area for the second annual SummerSlam at the Meadowlands Arena in my home state of New Jersey, and this time, the Mega Powers were on opposite sides. Macho Man Randy Savage teamed up with Zeus of No Holds Barred fame to take on Hulk Hogan and his good buddy Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Once again, Hulk Hogan was victorious at the end of the night, and the Ultimate Warrior, planting the seeds for his eventual feud with Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship, regained the Intercontinental title from ravishing Rick Rude in what was a much better match than the 31-second squash that he had with Honky Tonk Man the year before. The third annual SummerSlam once again took place in the tri-state area, this time at the Philadelphia Spectrum, and was headlined by the WWE Champion, the Ultimate Warrior, successfully defending the gold against his rival, ravishing Rick Rude, inside of a steel cage. We also had Hulk Hogan defeat Earthquake via countout. A bit of a dud right there. Randy Savage in a rare matchup with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. He took care of him in short order. The Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich defeated Mr. Perfect for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Fun fact, Brutus the Barber Beefcake was originally scheduled to win the IC title, but he got into a real-life accident that required facial surgery. And lastly, the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, regained the WWE Tag Team Championships, dethroning Demolition. For the fourth consecutive year, SummerSlam took place in the tri-state area, and for the second time, it took place in Madison Square Garden, and it was headlined by the on-screen wedding of Macho Man Randy Savage, who was back in WWE fans' good graces, and Miss Elizabeth. It was deemed a match made in heaven, a match made in hell. The match made in heaven, of course, Savage and Elizabeth. The match made in hell, Hulk Hogan teaming up with the Ultimate Warrior, his old rival, to vanquish Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa, aka the Iron Sheik, and Admiral Adnan. We also had on this stacked undercard, Bret the Hitman Hart finally capturing his first singles title in WWE, the Intercontinental Championship, dethroning Mr. Perfect, and a legendary matchup that stands the test of time. LOD, the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal defeated the Nasty Boys to win the WWE Tag Team Championships and became the only team to ever hold the WWE, NWA, and AWA Tag Team Championships. And Virgil, in his one moment of glory, defeated the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase for the $1 Million Championship. Finally, after 4 consecutive years in the tri-state area, WWE decided to take SummerSlam across the pond on August 29th, 1992, inside Wembley Stadium in London, England. Over 80,000 people packed the venue to see the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith defeat his brother-in-law, Bret the Hitman Hart, for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Emotions were riding high. It was an action-packed match. Davey Boy reversed the sunset flip into a pinning combination to win the title in the main event. Post-match, he embraced his brother-in-law, embraced his wife. It was one happy family and a great moment for the Harts. And in the co-main event, yes, the co-main event actually featured the WWE Championship. You don't see that every day. And the Ultimate Warrior defeated then-champion Macho Man Randy Savage, but he did not take the gold home because it ended via countout in favor of the Warrior. The 6th annual SummerSlam took place back on U.S. soil at the Palace in Auburn Hills, Michigan on August 30th, 1993, headlined by Yokozuna defending his WWE Championship against the narcissist Lex Luger. Not a good match at all. Lex Luger won via countout, but Yokozuna kept his gold. In the Intercontinental Championship match, HBK retained the title against Mr. Perfect. Yes, Shawn Michaels wrestled Mr. Perfect on what on paper was a really good match, but it also ended via countout. And in another grudge match, Bret the Hitman Hart took on Jerry Lawler's crony Doink the Clown, and it ended via disqualification. The only high-profile match that ended with a clean finish was The Undertaker defeating Giant Gonzalez. On that night, life wasn't fair for WWE fans. The 7th annual SummerSlam took place at the brand new United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls in Chicago, Illinois, August 29, 1994, headlined by Brother versus Brother. Bret the Hitman Hart defeated his brother Owen Hart inside of a steel cage to retain the WWE Championship. Yet another match that withstands the test of time. See a theme here with Hitman matches? In the co-main event, The Undertaker defeated primetime Brian Lee, who portrayed the fake Undertaker. He was never seen again after that, and quite frankly, I don't think most people missed him. And in the undercard, Diesel lost the Intercontinental Championship to his good buddy, Razor Ramon, who was accompanied by the late, great Pro Football Hall of Famer, Sweetness himself, Walter Payton. The 8th annual SummerSlam took place on August 27th, 1995 at the Pittsburgh Civic Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, headlined by Diesel defending the WWE Championship against King Mabel. And if you think on paper that match sounded bad, it looked bad as well. I got a lot of love for Mabel, aka Viscera, aka Big Daddy V, who's been a guest on the Sports Courier, but good lord, this was not his best night. All you need to know is that Diesel retained the title. We did have a classic here, though, a rematch of a WrestleMania 10 classic. Shawn Michaels retained the WWE Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match against Razor Ramon. Awesome, awesome match. And Bret the Hitman Hart defeated Dr. Isaac Yankem, a creepy dentist who would later become a guy you know by the name of the Big Red Machine Kane. The 9th annual SummerSlam took place at the Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, August 18th, 1996, and it was headlined by the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels defending his WWE Championship against Big Van Vader of WCW and Japan fame. Awesome, awesome match that saw HBK retain the gold. We also had, on the pre-show, a guy you might know by the name of Stone Cold Steve Austin in just under 2 minutes, while riding the wave of momentum from King of the Ring and the epic Austin 316 promo, defeated former WWE Champion Yokozuna. And in the co-main event, Mankind, a.k.a. Mick Foley, a.k.a. Dude Love, a.k.a. Cactus Jack, whatever you want to call him, scored a rare pinfall victory over The Undertaker in an epic Boiler Room Brawl. The 10th annual SummerSlam was back in the tri-state area for the 5th time in its history, 2nd time in New Jersey, Cottonelle Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, headlined by Bret the Hitman Hart, taking on WWE Champion The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. And not only was this match great, but the finish was one of the most memorable in WWE history. HBK Shawn Michaels tried to clock the Hitman with the steel chair. Bret Hart ducked. Shawn Michaels hit The Undertaker. And HBK was forced to count the 1, 2, 3 for his arch rival and award him the WWE Championship. definitely controversial, led to the great series of matches between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, including the legendary Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, and of course, it led to the infamous Montreal Screwjob, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series 1997. On the undercard, Mankind, who at the end of the match, I guess, became Dude Love, defeated Triple H in a great steel cage matchup, and Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Owen Hart for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Of course, that match was infamous because Owen Hart did a sit-out tombstone piledriver, broke Steve Austin's neck in the middle of the ring. Many people wondered why the hell he would even attempt that in the first place, but hey, Steve Austin somehow recovered, stayed on TV, kept the momentum of Austin 316 going, and he ended up carrying the WWE banner and WWE to new heights for years to come. Thanks so much for watching this special look at the first decade of WWE SummerSlam. Join us next week as we look back at the next 10 years of WWE Summer Classic. Don't forget to subscribe so you can check out our live shows, exclusive interviews, and features like this right here. Enjoy the matches, everybody.